What's good? What's good? We are back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett podcast. Yes, I'm wearing the face mask, but as you see, why I'm wearing the face mask, Tar Heels all the way, baby. Before we get started, let me shout out some sponsors here. Don't forget this podcast is sponsored by none other than Promo Palace LLC or promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your music, your product, your brand, and your service, please check out promopalace.biz. You see us scrolling below. Get marketing promotions at promopalace.biz. Do you dizzle? Yes, I dizzle. Check out dizzlebrand.com, a mixture of agave, tequila, cognac, orange liquor, mango mix. Just throw it on ice. It's good to go. You can also get the Dizzle merch. As you see, they got the hats, got the t-shirts, as well as ordering bottles of Dizzle from the website with the online order links. Just go to dizzlebrand.com, click our locations, and you'll see the top 3 links are online order links. Also follow them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and of course, I run the Facebook and TikToks for Dizzle Brand. Before I get started, don't forget the video version of my podcast goes to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Rumble. As you see, the follow on Rumble button popped up. You know what I'm saying? So follow us on Rumble. And then we take the video and I stream it on 3 of my Twitter accounts: Twitter at Promo Palace LLC, Twitter at Paul P Podcast, and Twitter at Paul W Pickett. And then don't forget the audio version of this podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, and much, much more. All right, first things first, let me pull up NBA scores from last night. Philadelphia waxed my Charlotte Hornets. Knicks got beat by the Cleveland Cavs. Atlanta Hawks beat Brooklyn. Things ain't looking good for Brooklyn. Chicago got beat by Miami. And Golden State beat Utah. And Chicago and Utah are definitely 2 teams that are just plummeting. They're just falling further and further down the mix. All right, let's pull up the standings. I'm going to give you my Triple P's Paul Power picks. Number 1, I got these, but I still think they're the team to beat. They're defending champs, and they're looking pretty healthy right now. Number 2, I'm going with the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul's back. They're a complete team. They're the best team in the West. There's that. Number 3, I'm going with the Miami Heat. Yes, I'm going with the Miami Heat. Number 4, I'm going with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, they're winning games without Ja. They're loaded. They're stacked. And number 5, I'm going with the Boston Celtics. So that's my top 5 Paul's Power picks on the Paul Pickett podcast, a.k.a. Triple P, a.k.a. Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, and more. First topic, Rams signed Bobby Wagner. It's a good look, man. I mean, the Rams are like the New York Yankees of the NFL right now. You got Aaron Donald on the line. You got Bobby Wagner in the middle. You got Jalen Ramsey in the back. And, I mean, offense is the offense can score. You know, and I just saw Matthew Stafford's first commercial probably outside of Detroit in my whole lifetime, you know. So it's crazy how the floodgates open up for commercials and endorsements. You win a Super Bowl, I don't care how good of a quarterback you were winning a Super Bowl. You're going to get endorsements and commercials after winning a Super Bowl. You're definitely going to get that. Definitely going to get that. Okay, let me get into the topic of the day. Oh, man. You know, I almost felt sorry for Duke fans last night. Almost. This is one of the most important and exciting games in NCAA tournament in college basketball history. It was the first time the greatest sports rivalry ever met in the NCAA tournament, which is crazy. That's crazy. It's the first. It's Coach K's last run. It's the start of a new era for North Carolina. I'm not gonna lie. Early in the year, we wasn't looking too good. Even though we ended up second in the ACC, I was a little worried. I was a little nervous about, Hubert Davis taking over. And even though this is kind of a situation where like Matt Daugherty brought in the players that Roy Williams won his first championship with, and Roy took over the next year and won a championship with him. It's kind of like that because Roy brought in pretty much all the guys, all the significant players of last night. I mean, it was literally, we probably played 7 deep, man. And, literally it was really all about the starting 5. After like a couple minutes in the game, I told myself, we had the better team. Not just on paper, we had the better team. We had the better backcourt. We got the better front court. Duke just has Paolo Banchero. Yes, Duke has a lot of good players on there. And there's going to be a couple other players go pro from there. But I'm just looking at, as a college team, Carolina was the better team. We have the better backcourt in Caleb Love and RJ Davis. Better front court, definitely, with the defensive Leaky Black, who reminds me so much of Theo Pinson. He really does. He's not looking to really score and shoot. He just accepts his role, plays his role. He understands. He's a Matisse Thybulle kind of guy. He just really is there for defense. Badcock is, back-to-back games with 20-something rebounds. I think he broke Tim Duncan's ACC record for double-doubles. I mean, the guy is a double-double machine. He's a double-double machine. Brady Manick, we have never had a player like him at North Carolina. And that's the thing now I realize. We're starting to get transfers because he's a transfer from Oklahoma. We had Cam Johnson as a transfer. His brother now is playing for us, which he was. I don't think he was a transfer. I think we probably just brought him in, because after Cam played because Cam's been in the league for 2 or 3 years now. This is his second or third. I think this is Cam's third year in the league now. Cameron Johnson, who plays for the Phoenix Suns, who's probably the best Carolina player in the NBA right now. Probably the best Tar Heel player in the NBA right now. I could be overlooking somebody, but I'm thinking right now he's the best Tar Heel player in the NBA right now is Cameron Johnson. Yeah, but so the better team won. The game was super exciting. It was a nail biter. I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous when Badcock got hurt. I kind of thought, oh man, that was gonna be the end of us. That was gonna doom us. Caleb Love, I gotta give it to Carolina, man. Caleb Love just has this look on his face like he's an assassin. Like he's gonna try to rip your heart out. You know what I'm saying? He just has this look on his face like he's not afraid of the moment. He's not gonna back down from the moment. Our whole backcourt is sophomores, which is very rare for us to have a sophomore backcourt that's really that seasoned. Now, as far as Kansas goes, I don't know who's got the, I didn't really pay attention to Kansas enough to see how good their team was. But this isn't the first time we'll play Kansas in a national championship. We beat them in a national championship before. We had Montrose and they had Ostertag. So there's that. But either way, it was a win-win for North Carolina. Because either way, we were going to have a North Carolina team in the championship. Both schools are on the same road, Tobacco Road. And I just truly believe the better team won. Duke might be deeper, but like as far as the starting fives go, Carolina had a better starting five, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, like I said, besides Banchero, there just wasn't really any other guys on Duke that I seen was just like the take over the game kind of guys. It was just like they all had to play within the system, except Banchero. He was just like, he's definitely going to be a good player in the NBA. And sometimes these players' games translate even better in the NBA because in college, there's no ball hogging at Duke and Carolina. There's no like ISO ball, and that's not happening at Duke and Carolina. No ISO ball like that. It's pass the ball, play within as a team. That happens at like small colleges, like real small Division Ones, where like John Morant, school like John Morant went to, where he's it and there's nobody else on the team. It's because even when Zion was at Duke, I mean, they was RJ and Cam Reddish were getting a ton of shots as well. So teams like that are always going to play within the systems, especially Villanovas and Kansases. None of these teams they're not for hero ball and ISO ball and nothing like that. I'm so proud of my boys, so proud of the Tar Heels. I almost felt sorry for Coach K and Duke fans, but like I said, almost. The better team won, man. The better team won. And that's the thing. Some of these Carolina boys they'll be playing next year. I mean, we might, who knows? Our backcourt might stay. RJ Davis and Caleb Love might stay next year. They might stay to the juniors, even though they probably can go pro. I'm pretty confident both of them can go pro. And how good they'll be a pro, I don't know. But, I like them both, man. Oh, drop my water. I like them both, man. Like, RJ Davis kept us in the game in the first half, and Caleb Love won it for us in the second. Yeah. I mean, because nobody else really scored a lot. Nobody else really scored a lot. And Puff Johnson, Cam Johnson's brother, he looks like his twin. He looks like his twin brother, man. I mean, he really does. He really does. So, yeah, this is exciting. My boys are going to win. I'm sorry, Kansas, but Carolina's going all the way. We're going to win it all. We're going to add another championship to the championships we already got. I think we got 82, 93, 2000. We got 2000. I mean, we got at least 4 or 5 championships in my lifetime. Dean Smith has 2. Roy has 2. Yeah, so I think it's 4. 4 championships in my lifetime. We also got a championship, I think like in 56 or something like that too. North Carolina is the first Division I college basketball team to recruit an African American in Charlie Scott, which Dean Smith led the way to that. They brought in a shot clock because of Carolina and Dean Smith in the 4 corners. We put just as much players in the NBA, if not more, than any school in college basketball history. We put the greatest basketball player ever played for North Carolina. James Worthy, big game James Worthy, finals MVP. I mean, Rasheed Wallace, champion. I mean, we put Jerry Stackhouse, led the league in scoring a year or two. We put out a lot of good players, man. Brad Daugherty, Kenny Smith, 2-time champion. You know, North Carolina just put out a lot of great players. A lot of great players, man. So proud of my boys. You know. Sorry, Duke. Maybe next year or maybe never again. Who knows? I want to get into this one topic. Where's it at? I got this topic. All right, here it goes. This is a music related topic. And before we get into it, click that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, don't forget, this podcast sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. Get marketed promotions at promopalace.biz. And do you dizzle? Yes, I dizzle. Check out dizzlebrand.com. All right, I saw this topic that Tom McDonald was doing. And also the guy that raps with him, I want to say his name is Adam Calhoun or something like that. I could be wrong. But Tom McDonald, they were talking about how they sold more physical copies of their album right now than anybody's album that's out for this year or whatever. Even more than Kanye. And I was sitting there thinking, why the hell or when the hell did Billboard stop counting physical copies in the first place? Just because most albums are bought digitally, it doesn't mean that every single album on the planet or from every single artist is bought digitally. Now, if anything I know about independent artists, and that means a artist who's not signed to a major label like Sony or Universal, they might be signed to an independent label that has a distribution situation. But yeah, artists are signed to independent. Physical sales is one of their big money makers for them. I went to a Joyner Lucas show in Durham, and it wasn't just merchandise he was selling. All the physical copies sold out too. And you got to figure those are like $10, $20 a pop, whatever they are. Then the merchandise is, $20 or more for merchandise. I bought my cousin a hat. I'd already had a t-shirt that I bought online. So I bought my cousin a hat. And we also had, I don't think we bought a physical copy, but we also bought a meet and greet tickets, which were like $50 a pop. So like all these things go in account. The meet and greets, getting paid to sign autographs, take pictures, the merchandise selling out, physical copies. I know a cat like Ryan Leslie probably does a lot of physical copies. There is a lot of independent artists and unsigned artists that still sell physical copies, and there's still fans, real fans still buy physical copies. They still buy physical copies. A lot of these underground artists still sell physical copies. So this idea that Billboard doesn't count physical copies is ridiculous. And I don't know if they count merchandise, but they should. They should. Because if your artist selling a lot of digital downloads, but you ain't selling no merchandise, how like die hard really is your fan base? Sitting to tell you, Joyner Lucas. You know what's crazy? I watched Joyner Lucas. He said it was one of the smallest shows of the tour. It was probably 150 people in there at Durham, and I literally watched this guy probably make $5,000 to $7,000 off of 150 people. $50 for meet and greets. There was at least 50 people paid for meet and greets. That's That's $2,500 right there. Not counting the other 100 that probably paid, 10 to 20 a ticket. So that's another 1,000 to 2,000 right there. That's $3,000 to $4,000 right there. And then he sold out all the CDs and all the merchandise. So and this is why Tom McDonald was explaining why Billboard doesn't count physical copies. And when I heard this, I was like, Billboard is so pathetic. It's because they use a third-party company to collect all their data. Billboard doesn't even do the work themselves. They're like a pack of hyenas. I was watching The Way of the Cheetah the other day. 5 cheetahs kill a antelope, and 2 hyenas run off the cheetah and start eating up the deer. But then 2 lions run off the hyenas. Like cheetahs are such the laziest creatures on earth. They let everybody do all the work, and then they come and try to steal your food after you did all the work. That's what Billboard's doing here. Billboard is literally letting a third-party company dictate and collect the data for them. They don't even dictate their own business. That's so lame, man. You don't even dictate your own business because you letting a third-party company dictate the data. And physical sales should definitely be counted because all independent artists they're using physical sales as a big part of the income, man. And that's the thing. This is preventing Tom McDonald, and I think his name is Adam Calhoun, from basically charting probably number 1. And what was crazy is Tom McDonald said he only does physical copies. He's never done digital. He's never put his album out digitally. And that's how fan base works. That's why fan base dictates everything in the music business and the consumer business. So Tom McDonald said he only put out physical copies. Now, Adam Calhoun only put out digitals. He never put out physical copies. So what they decided to do is both. They decided to do both this time because they did a joint album together, right? So they sold a shit ton of physical copies, which Adam Calhoun is never even typically does. And then they got a nice amount of digital downloads and sales or streams as well. Because that's the thing. So many streams count as album sales or single sales. So the fact that Billboard is not counting physical sales is crazy to me. Why would they ever stop? Just because, physical sales is dominated by digital, it doesn't mean that it's totally irrelevant and it's totally, no more physical sales going on. Because that's even like wax is coming back. There was a time when you used to go to every record store and there was wax everywhere. There was a whole section of just wax after wax after wax, just records after records after records, man, in a whole section of the store. And then and that's when it was just cassettes and records. And then CDs took over cassettes, which made it kind of more digital, but it was still physical copies. It was still physical copies. Because that's what people are buying as physical copies is CDs still, And then you had digital downloads, which would be like you give people little cards and they buy the card and they use the card, they scan the card or a code or whatever, and they could just digitally download it. But yeah, this is really crazy to me that Billboard doesn't count physical sales. It definitely kind of shows you that the game is rigged, that Billboard is rigged. They don't even control their own data. They're letting third party, control the data, which is crazy to me. But I thought it was very interesting video that Tom McDonald had. Basically, talking about one of the scams in the music industry, because basically they're selling more physical copies. That's the thing. They actually have proof. They can provide proof of physical copies they sold, and Billboard still don't believe them. So what it's saying is Billboard is just trying to not count physical copies. They're just trying to shut them out altogether. Because if I provide you with receipts, I provide proof of receipts of I sold so many copies, you can say what you believe and don't believe all you want, but it doesn't make your beliefs facts or truth. And there's only one truth to everything in life. My neighbor was talking the other day. We were talking, and yesterday, because we were talking about non-binary people and people using pronouns like them or they, things that won't fly in my book ever. I would never say somebody's not a male nor a female. If that's the case, you're just an it because you're one or the other. But he was saying, 5 different people can have 5 different truths. No, 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 no. There's only one truth to everything. For every fact we uncover, there's only one truth to it. There's only one truth of what created us, of what we call God is. There's only one truth of who built the pyramids. There's only one truth of, how Einstein discovered gravity, or how Edison discovered electricity. There's not 5 different truths of how they did these things. There's only one truth. And just because y'all, 5 different people say they got 5 different truths, there's only one of those people are true. There isn't 5 different truths to everything. Everything that we've classified as facts and truth in this world only has one truth to it. They really do. This idea that everything has 5 different truths, no. There's only one truth to every single fact. There's only one thing that makes it true. There's not 5 different things that make it true. It doesn't work that way. 5 different opinions isn't 5 facts. 5 different opinions is 4 opinions and more likely one fact. And they might not even, neither one of them might not have facts. They all might be not telling the truth. That's the thing. Telling the truth isn't just about being honest. Telling the truth is all about, is it reality? Is it the actual reality of what is going on? Like, for example, when the woke mob says all white people are racist, there is no truth to that. And 5 different people could have 5 different opinions and so-called truths to that, but there's no truth to that. The truth of the matter is all white people are not racist. Every single white person on the planet is not racist. For you to say that about any one race, you could say that about all races. I could say every black person on the planet is racist if that's the case. Because it's mathematically impossible for every single person of one race to be exactly the same and have exactly the same thoughts and exactly the same views on things in life. Some black people choose to listen to heavy metal, and some white people choose to listen to hip hop. That's how it goes. There's so many differences between many people within the races. This idea that everybody in one race actually meets the criteria, That'd be like me saying, oh, all black people love fried chicken. No, there's no truth to that. Because I got friends that are black that don't eat no fried chicken whatsoever. They don't put any kind of meats in their body whatsoever like that. They don't put steak or chicken or pork in their body. All they eat is fish, and maybe shrimp, and vegetables, and fruits. So yes, there is no 5 truths to every damn thing in life. There's one truth to how it became a fact or how it became a truth. There isn't a million different truths to everything. So yeah, Billboard, man, is crazy. It's crazy that they don't count physical sales. What more can I say? Top billing, baby. It's a beautiful day today. Episode 126. My Tar Heels, who were an 8th seed, there shouldn't have been no 8th seed. The number 2 team in the ACC should have not been. This shouldn't have been no freaking 8th seed. That's first of all. We got played. We got disrespected and played with the 8th seed. We were definitely higher than an 8th seed. at least a 3 or 4 seed. We clearly proved that the better team was us. We beat Duke 2 straight games. And we're clearly just a better team, man. They were just clearly a better team. Duke always has a lot of unexperienced teams because they got these one and dones, man. A lot of they be having these one and done freshmen. They have like 2 or 3 freshmen starting. Everybody that started on our team as sophomores and juniors and seniors. We thrive off of experience and rebounding and offensive rebounding and defense. That's how Carolina's always won championships, off of offensive rebounding and defense, man. Offensive rebounding and defense. Because offensive rebound is defense within itself, you know. So, yeah, for all you Carolina fans out there, pop them bottles today. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to, eat me some breakfast, throw some food in the belly, and I'm going to make me a glass of Dizzle. Throw some ice in the glass, throw some Dizzle on it, and throw me on a movie and watch me a movie, man. I might do some work today. Who knows? I got some orders that I could work on. But it is Sunday. Carolina did win. I can just decide to chill out, relax, and celebrate for the day. That's the blessings of being self-employed and working for yourself for the last 10 years, So, big up to Carolina. Big up to Hubert Davis. Big up to all the Tar Heel fans. Big up to Duke, man. Duke played a hard-fought game. If we would have lost, I wouldn't have been so upset. I mean, because Duke played their heart out. You could tell that they really wanted to win. I saw more emotions in them losing than I did RJ Barrett and Zion and Cam Reddish. And this team got further than them. So there's that. And this is Coach K's last year. You could tell he was highly disappointed and upset. And I commend Coach K for the interview because I knew they were trying to hit him with questions of him retiring and how he felt. And he just really felt it wasn't about him right now. It was about his players and just getting them over this emotional hump and still preparing them for the NBA, the ones that are going. Because, of course, Paolo Banchero is definitely leaving. None of these one and done stay. None of them stay anymore, But big ups to Coach K. Great career, long career. I don't know that Duke basketball is going to be the same without him. Carolina, we've had a stint with Matt Daugherty when we kind of started to fall in, plummet for a little bit. But then Roy Williams got us back to the promised land. And Hubert Davis I'm just so impressed for the job he did. And I thought Hubert Davis was the first coach to get to the Final Four, and he's not. And he's not the first coach to win a championship his first year either. But this would be great for Carolina. For any doubts, any nervousness that any Carolina fans might have had, going forward. Like, this is the thing. Even if Hubert Davis doesn't win a championship, if we lose this championship and we don't go back, I'm just still impressed. I'm impressed with Hubert Davis. This is why I'm so impressed. This is what's really impressive about Hubert Davis. He decided to do things his way, not the Carolina way. He decided when he was going to coach this team, he was going to coach this team the Hubert Davis way, not the Carolina way. And I said even myself, maybe we should bring somebody in that was a non-Carolina guy to keep going for it. But Hubert Davis is he's going to change the tradition. He's going to change the Carolina traditions. He's going to start doing his thing, do it his way, not the Roy way, because Roy did it the Dean way. Guthridge did it the Dean way. So everybody before Hubert did it the Dean way. And Hubert is doing it the Hubert way. And I commend that. Being like, that's the thing. As a coach, you got to have your own identity too. You You got to stand on your own 2 feet and have your own identity, you know. So, yep. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 126. You know, Carolina Tar Heels just beat Duke. We go in the Final Four. We go to that championship. We're gonna play Kansas. Sorry, Kansas. This is as far as y'all go. The buck stops here. North Carolina's gonna bring the championship home back to Tobacco Road, man. And like I said, even if we was to lose this game, I couldn't be more proud of Hubert Davis. I couldn't be more proud of my Tar Heel basketball team. That's the thing. When you come to Carolina, when you put on that Carolina blue Tar Heel jersey, you better give 100%. You better give it your all. Because if not, you gotta go like Larry Drew and transfer to UCLA. Larry Drew and the Twins, you gotta transfer on out of here. Clifford Rozier, transfer on out of here. You know, you gotta give it your all. And if you're not gonna play, you come in as a freshman and you're a one and done and you're not gonna give it your all, you gotta go. Go straight to the NBA, get out of here. Because in Carolina, you got to give 110%. You got to play hard on both ends of the floor. You can't take a night off of not playing on both ends of the floor when you come to Carolina. We will not tolerate it. We will not allow it. We are like the Miami Heat of basketball. We're like those goons from Dade County, man. We will not tolerate slackers. We would not tolerate slackers in North Carolina Tar Heel basketball. Forever, ever, forever, ever. Oh yeah, let me get in my last topic before I get off here. I saw a video of Tony Rock. Oh, it was so hilarious. He actually did a show in Raleigh, North Carolina. And it was so funny. Like at the beginning of the show, he was like, look, if you have a problem with anything that I say here tonight, you can only do one thing and one thing only about it. Absolutely nothing. He said, because if you come up on this stage, he said, this ain't the motherfucking Oscars. And if you come up on this stage, the only thing you're going to be nominated for tonight is these hands, these fists. And then he said, you put your hands on my brother? Because your bitch gave you the side eye? Oh, man, it was so hilarious. And I thought about it, too, what he said. That's really what happened. Because the chump Will, whose wife cheated on him publicly with August Alsina and embarrassed him, gets the side eye and feels like he's got to go stick up for his wife. First of all, I'm not defending no woman that the whole world knows cheated on me. If I do that, shoot me, get it over with. I am not defending no woman that the whole world knows cheated on me. And second of all, I'm not defending no woman that I know cheated on me. Even if the whole world didn't know, I don't care if a single person knows. If I know she cheated on me, that bitch is not getting no defense from me. She better defend herself or go find a man to defend it. Once you cheat on me, it's over. We have no connection, no relationship, no love, nothing. It's over. It's done. You're dead to me. I don't care if I have a kid with you. If you cheat on me, I want nothing to do with you whatsoever after that. We're done. And no, I won't keep it civil for the sake of the kid. You cheat on me and fuck you. I could care less what the hell happens to your ass. I don't care if I run into you at a club and you get beat up. I'm going to watch you get beat up. Because you cheat on me, I don't have no responsibility to you as a person no more. If I have a kid with you, I got a responsibility to my kid. But as far as you go, no responsibility to you. You know. And Another thing, Black China. Like I saw a Breakfast Club. This pissed me off and got under my skin so much. This is the problem with the motherfucking world today with relationships and divorces. This is why every man should have a prenup when he gets married. This is why every woman shouldn't just get custody of the kid. So Black China posts on Twitter basically, I had to give back 3 of my cars today. Oh, whoopee doo. You got 4 or 5 cars and you had to give back 3 of them. Like, I'm supposed to feel fucking sympathetic for your ass. For your little crybaby ass, you got 4 or 5 cars and you had to turn 3. You had to give back 3 of them. Whoopee fucking do. What about the other 2 or 3 cars you still got? Really? Really? We're supposed to feel sympathetic for you. You got 5 or 6 cars and you had to give back 3. Whoopee fucking do. Some people can't even afford 1 fucking car. So there's that. Then Tiger post, I got my kid from Monday to Saturday, which is 6 days a week. And I pay $40,000 a year at my kid's school. Why the hell would I pay child support? Exactly. Why the hell would any man pay child support when he keeps the kid 6 motherfucking days a week? Finally, the court system worked in the favor of a man in a divorce and a separation. Then Rob Kardashian posts, well, I have my kid from Tuesday to Saturday. Well, that's 5 days a week. And I pay $36,000 a year for my kid's school and every fucking other thing that goes along with his kid. Why the hell would I pay child support? So this bitch literally has 1 kid 1 day a week and another kid 2 days a week, and this bitch thinks she should be getting child support. Hell to the no. That's the problem with society today. That too many women think a man should just fucking take care of them, even when y'all ain't even in a fucking relationship no more. If I don't love you no more and I don't care about you no more, why the fuck should I have to take care of you? I shouldn't. I should not be obligated or have any responsibility to take care of another adult that I'm not in a relationship with. I have no obligation to. Just because kids are involved, y'all, that's why I will never get married. Because if I get divorced, I refuse to take care of another woman that I'm not with. I refuse to take care of another adult, period. You ain't paying half the bills, half the rent, half the food. We can't be in a relationship. It ain't 50-50. It's 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, 100% zero. If you ain't paying half the bills, half the rent, and half the food, this shit ain't 50-50. Don't even try it. Because I'm a self-employed businessman. And ain't no way in the business world do I pay 70% of the rent, 70% of the bills, by 70% of the food, and it's a 50-50% fucking relationship. It sure hell ain't gonna be a 50. Hell no. That means I own 70% of the business, you own 30%. Guess what? You ain't got but 30% of the say. That means I got the final say in everything in the business or the relationship. If I'm paying 70% of the bills, you ain't got no say so in the final decision under my roof. It's my roof. You just paying partial rent, you know? So yeah, man, like big ups to Rob Kardashian and Tiger. And Tiger also said, how the hell you paying $3,000 less than me for school? Yo, let me get that plug. But yeah, I commend them both, man. Great fathers. Got their kids 5 days, 6 days a week, paying for everything. And you got a deadbeat woman crying and complaining about why the hell she ain't getting child support. That she got to turn back in 3 of her 5 or 6 cars. I would never feel sorry or sympathy for a person that owns 5 or 6 cars and talking about, I had to turn in 3 of them. Man, shut the hell up with your little crybaby bitch ass. When most people can't even afford 1 damn car. And you crying because you had to turn in 3 of them jokers, man. If I ever heard of some spoiled, rotten, privileged shit in my freaking life. And Will Smith, that's another person who's privileged. Got more privilege than a motherfucker. Because if he would have did that shit in any other public setting, Will Smith would have been locked up. He'd have been escorted out. The fact that they try to escort him out and he wouldn't leave. You talking about white privilege. Will Smith got more white privilege than a motherfucker. He's a fucking white woman. He's a Karen. Will Smith is a Karen. He got more privilege than any white woman on the planet. Because if that was any other, if it was a white woman, they would have escorted her out of there. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. If that was a white woman that walked up and smacked Chris Rock, she would have been gone. But Will Smith got more privilege than any white person I know. Just like LeBron James Jr. got more privilege than any white kid in America. You know, so white privilege is another thing. Like, if you ain't rich, this idea that all white people got privilege, stop it. Nobody helped me build my business. I built my business up from scratch by my motherfucking self. And I was working a dead-end job, walking 2 miles to and from a dead-end job before I built my business up by my motherfucking self. And I run my business by my motherfucking self. That is not privilege. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah. Good episode today. Carolina beat Duke. Bobby Wagner to the Rams. Billboard not counting physical sales is crazy as hell. Tiger Black and Rob Kardashian basically putting Black China in her place. Nobody should feel sympathy for Black China. Nobody. She's just, what her problem is she's living amongst their means. That's the problem with a lot of these people. They want to live above their means. You know, like Dr. Dre's wife, who thought she was just going to get a shit ton of money out of Dr. Dre. No, you don't get to. I don't have to take care of you when we get divorced just because you want to live amongst your means, above your means and stuff. That's the most dumbest thing in society to me. That a woman thinks because she marries a rich guy that once she divorces him, she should still be rich. No, you didn't even work for it. You didn't even work to be rich. How about trying to go and working for your own fortune and your own fame and your own. Those are the women I commend. I commend the women that worked for their own fame and fortune. But a woman that marries a rich guy and thinks because she divorces him, she ain't had no kids with him or nothing, that she should still live above her means. She should still, be in a big house and driving a nice car and all these clothes. Hell to the no. Hell no. How about you go stand on your own 2 feet? How about that? That shit would never fly in my book. So I'll probably never get married. And that shit was never ever love in the get-go for that shit. So, yep. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Pop them bottles today. Carolina Tar Heel fans, celebrate. Even if you're not a Tar Heel fan, celebrate for the Tar Heels. That's how we do. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 126. Don't forget this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz, the online marketing promotions for your music, your product, your brand, and your service. Get marketing promotions at promopalace.biz. See it scrolling below. Also, do you dizzle? Yes, I dizzle. I'm going to dizzle as soon as I eat some breakfast, which I'm probably going to have some French toast or some pancakes. And then I'm going to make me a nice little glass of dizzle on ice. Dizzle on ice. You know how we do. Check them out. Mixture of agave tequila, cognac, orange liquor mango mix. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and more. Also, don't forget the video version goes to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram TV, Rumble, and definitely follow us on Rumble. Rumble lets you monetize every video from day one. And I'm about to set up an ad today for my Rumble as well. Start advertising my Rumble. Get that up and popping even more. Don't forget the audio version will go to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Paul Pickett, episode 126. Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. Peace, and I'm out.